Patrick, it's that time of week. Talking charts with Patrick. What do you got for us?
All right. Well, listen, I didn't have much time to prep this. I'm out here on the
excuses.
I know. But listen, I just want to talk about some of these cool charts of what's going on. First of all, the S&P 500 hasn't let up. We just heard back from Brent. And you know, usually in the days after the expiry, there's still some gamma influences that could potentially drive this market higher. The interesting thing is that the measured move on the S&P from the technical techniques that I use suggests a measured move as high as 33.75, which is still 50 points higher. It would be interesting if that actually housed, give or take 25 points, where the swing high comes in on the market. I don't want to say something more ominous, but a market rising at this speed inevitably is going to have a mean reversion, and it'll be interesting to see what level that really starts from. The other interesting thing that I wanted to move on is the dollar, and the U.S. dollar is put a breakout candle in. I mean, we talk Dixie all the time. But just connecting all these highs sort of as connecting trend lines, you can see a big breakout candle, but that breakout candle come off a specific currency, and that's the Euro USD. And this breakdown, I was watching the 111 level. You and Cuppy are all like super bullish here on this Euro, but this price action to me is very vulnerable and very weak. They just simply have not been able to put together any strength towards the Euro to suggest that it's imminently going higher. And this breakdown, if this follows through next week and pushes down toward 110, that could really mark the end of this little bounce here on the Euro. And I would not be surprised if about a weakness could come on the other end of it. What do you think of that, Kev?
You know what, Patrick? I hate to tell you this, but I agree with you, which means it's probably headed higher.
What? Oh, you goochering my trade.
I am goochering your trade, buddy.
I liked my position. You know what? You and Cuppy had an edge. You calculated it. That's okay. I'm willing to give you guys sometimes you have to give the market makers something in order to get your position. And so I gave you guys
That's good. You got to give up the vig. Got to give up the vig.
Yeah, exactly. In order to have the edge, right? Yeah. Interestingly enough, Japanese yen continues to break down. It was and this was like a classic pop and drop that I love to see on charts, which is that almost all technicians saw this breakout that happened. Actually, let me flip it on the USD yen so that for the way our Forex traders look at it, you had that breakdown that normally would have triggered a flood of selling orders as the trend would have been reversing on the other side. And instead, it kind of washed everything out down there and then breaks out to higher highs. It'll be fascinating to see whether that US dollar continues to strengthen against the yen. I still think we have a bet on this, so I'm obviously expressing bias here toward 112, 113, but I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, I'll take the other side of that, Patrick.
Of course you are. That's why we have. That's why we. What do we have? A steak or a burger on this one? Which one?
I can't remember.
Or was this the highest stakes? Steak.
Oh, the Market Huddle menswear.
Yes,
it might actually be the Market Huddle menswear.
Oh, go US dollar, go, buddy! I want to see you in that outfit. It's anyway. We'll watch and see. Anyway, I wanted to just do a shout out to 3 stocks. All right. First of all, we have to look at Apple, and Apple continues to trug along, closing 318.73 into the weekend. You know what? It continues to just tack on $10-20 billion of market cap in a couple days, just over and over again. It's just this exponential rise. Hey, listen, why can't it be a $2 trillion company in a couple of weeks? Why not? I mean, at this pace, it's going to be there. But I'm a seller. Like this is going to run out of steam, and I think that the top of Apple is going to probably come in line with the S&P short-term swing highs, and so let's keep an eye on it. The other one, obviously, we have to talk about is Tesla, and it was the Morgan Stanley downgrade, wasn't it? That caused that turn.
Well, it caused it to go down for what, an afternoon?
Actually,
a morning. It didn't even make it to the afternoon.
Oh, come on. It hasn't really recovered, dude. After that 540 print on the upside, it's fallen back to 500, and it's muddling there. And so for me, this I'm asking the important question: have we seen the high on Tesla. Now, 2 days of selling is far too premature to do any confirmation that the selling is here and that the top is in. I don't want to be caught, misinterpreted by our listeners. But reversals start like this, which is, they blow off to the upside and then they start selling and then don't recover. And it'll be very interesting next week to watch whether Tesla can make it back to 540 or whether if it breaks below the 500 level.
Well, Patrick, I should be listening to you because I remember when Cuppy and I were chatting about this, you said there was a possibility for an explosive rally. And I think even though you used the word explosive, you underestimated how much it was going to rise.
I was thinking like we were talking about it around 400. I was like, it could go to 450, 475. No, the freaking thing went to 540, 550.
So kudos to you, buddy. You nailed it. It was explosive. It was crazy. One of the largest short squeezes in all history. It's going to be right up there with Volkswagen and I don't know what else was short squeeze. Something good. Volkswagen Porsche was probably one of the classic ones. It's not quite in that league, but it's definitely one of the big ones that's got to hurt.
All right, now the last one I want to touch on is Boeing. A number of CNBC pundits, I'm not going to mention any specific names, but there's been a number of people that have been trying to put a bull angle on this, but I have to look at this chart and say it still looks like shit.
Patrick, I'm going to make you name names. Who talks about this from the bull side?
No, I will not.
Come on.
Come on. A Kramer and all of the company. And
okay.
I've heard a number of BNN guys come on as well. I'm not gonna start calling these, but the point is there's a lot of people trying to make a case that Boeing bottom should be in and that this was cheap. But I remind everyone that Boeing is still trading at a higher price than it did in December of 2018 when there was not a single plane that crashed at that moment. So we're still trading at a price level that is arguably higher than it was trading before any of these problems emerged.
Yeah. You know what I would say, though, to you, Patrick? I'm not disagreeing. It looks like shit. It's trading terribly. It does have that Buffett headline risk, though, that there's rumors that he's buying. And if it gets ever substantiated, this thing, could gap $20-$30 in an instant.
Right. Well, listen, I don't think the company's going bankrupt. I think it's going to be a buy on dip inevitably. But this chart looks terribly weak and vulnerable back down to those December lows of 290. Look, I mean, we're in this epic stock market rally where there's huge index buying coming in. Boeing's a big component, and it's not catching the bid. If it can't rally in this environment, I think it's going lower first.
Okay.
Anyway,
you heard
that's the charts I wanted to talk about.